What is going on over here? What is this? Is that no trespassing? Probably. What's going on here? Yo, 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 another day, another adventure with your homeboy Jermaine, getting this vlog started off. Wow, this is different. I wasn't expecting to vlog this morning, but yeah, this morning I was just out cycling and I noticed that this area is open up. So you may wonder, what is this? Well, let's talk about it. Now, this used to be the old bus terminal, like the temporarily bus terminal from when they were building the Salesforce terminal over there. So now all the buses moved from here to the Salesforce terminal. So this whole area was just they had like a big fence around the whole block, and it was just sitting here kind of vacant for a while. I remember right before the pandemic, they were storing a lot of cars here because they were shooting a couple movies in the city. And then, you know, when the pandemic started, this whole place was just sitting here, and it was nothing around, and there was a bunch of grass growing up. I actually noticed it was a lot of grass like growing up through the cracks. Well, this was like 2 weeks ago I noticed. I was like, wow, that area is all looking abandoned, and now it looks like it's open. I don't exactly know what it's open for. Looks like it's just open for, you know, people to walk their dogs in this grass, maybe. This, you know, all this fake grass that they have here. I guess you can go walk your dog, right? I mean, it doesn't sound so ideal to walk your dog on a bunch of fake grass in the middle of a parking lot, but you know, you got to make people happy some way. And then it looks like they got the soccer course, a little small miniature soccer course here. The crossing at Eastcut. I wonder what is the crossing? Is this like a sports league? Oh, wow, look, we can go out here. Whee! It says no dogs on the field, but it doesn't say no bikes on the field. So, I mean, if you don't want bikes on the field, you got to say like no bikes on the field. But you did say no dogs on the field. Let's get out of here before someone pops out of here and start yelling. But yeah, it looks like this area is like all closed down. This is kind of insane because this is like an entire block. Like it's an entire like city block, and it's like closed down. Now they are supposed to put like buildings here. I don't know when that's gonna happen, because I think since the pandemic a lot of things have slowed down. But yeah, they just look like they just opened this area for, you know, for people that live in the area. There's a ton of people that live in this area, by the way. Like all these new buildings that have popped up, and definitely people live here all around. And you know, I guess now they got some greenery, or some, what do you call that stuff? Artificial turf or whatever. Anyway, yo, let's get this video started. Just another day in the East Cut. Just another day in the East Cut. The East Cut is hands down my favorite neighborhood in the city. We're talking about this in a live stream a couple days ago. Someone asked me, yo, what's your favorite neighborhood? And like, what's, if money wasn't an issue, like what neighborhood would you live in? Well, the East Cut is my favorite neighborhood, but I think if dollars wasn't an issue, and if I can pick like any place in the city to live in, it would probably be Pacific Heights or Seacliff, just because those areas are like super dope, but it's also not very city vibe. The East Cut is very, very city vibe, like skyscrapers, you can walk places. There's some shops. I'm gonna keep it real, there's not a lot of shops in the East Cut, just because it's sort of a newer neighborhood. I mean, there are more places like popping up. There's definitely like vacant spots because there's a lot of like, you know, new skyscrapers. Like, you know, just right down here there's a couple of new skyscrapers, and you know, downstairs there's places for lease, but I guess, you know, no one has leased them yet. I would imagine in a couple of years this neighborhood is going to be pretty thriving once there's more shops and more restaurants and grocery stores and stuff like that. There's like one grocery store around here, and it's kind of pricey. Other things I've heard about this neighborhood, I've heard people say this in live streams once again. They were saying that this neighborhood is like very bougie, and I must disagree with that. I can kind of see why people would say it's kind of bougie, just because it, you know, fancy and big tall buildings and stuff like that. But for the most part, like, I don't think, I definitely don't think the East Cut is a bougie neighborhood for San Francisco. I don't really want to say like bougie neighborhoods in the city. I will definitely let you guys put the bougie neighborhoods in the comments. Don't want to start any rumors here, but yeah, it's definitely, I definitely wouldn't think it's the East Cut. There's a lot of mixture in the East Cut. You take some neighborhoods, like, you know, take a neighborhood like Pack Heights. Where are the low income people? There's really like not a lot of low income people that live in a neighborhood like Pack Heights. Or you take a neighborhood like, you know, let me think of another fancy neighborhood in the city. Russian Hill. Like, yeah, there's some rent control, but like it's not like, it's still kind of fancy, you know. You take the East Cut, since a lot of these buildings are new. I don't know if a lot of people know this stuff, but since a lot of buildings are new, the city requires that 20% of the buildings have to be for below market, meaning that like you don't have to be a gazillionaire to like move to some of these places. However, it's not like you can just go walk up to the leasing office and be like, yo, I make, you know, $50,000 a year, hook me up with an apartment. No, you wouldn't do it that way. You would have to like go through like the mayor's office, fill out some forms, take a class or two, you know, there's income verifications and stuff like that, and then you can, you know, find a much cheaper place, you know, to live in a neighborhood like the East Cut, or basically any neighborhood in the city. That is definitely an option. But yeah, it's definitely not the most bougiest neighborhood. It's definitely a very new, modern, a very hip neighborhood. It's kind of hip, but it's missing a lot of things that normal neighborhoods have, you know. Like, I don't really see any like local bars where you just like walk up and just go get a drink from. You just don't see that in the East Cut. I mean, if you're in neighborhoods like the Mission District, if you're in you know, the Marina, or if you're in North Beach, there are plenty of like local bars. There's plenty of places to just go to and just pop in and, you know, get a drink, grab some food. Just not that way here yet. My guess, I don't really know, but I guess it, just my guess, just off the top of my head with the pandemic, I would imagine that a lot of these buildings are not like 100% filled. And if they were 100% filled, maybe it would be more businesses, maybe it would be more people walking around, maybe the neighborhood would change quicker. But just off the top of my head, I don't think that, you know, we are at like 100% capacity, just because of the pandemic, and, you know, all these tech companies are like working from home and stuff like that. Like, you don't necessarily need to be in the city, if you know what I'm saying, yo. Wow, look at this, yo. Definitely don't see this in the neighborhood every day. Holy cow, it's like, I'm like nervous to even ride up to this thing. It's so massive, yo. Holy cow. I love this parking lot, by the way. They just recently opened it up. This parking lot was, it was like coronavirus testing or something for a while. But before that, it was just a big parking lot that people park their cars at. Wow, that looks crazy. I noticed that they put a fence right there. That fence wasn't there a couple days ago. Yeah, they just put that big fence there. Because a couple days ago, I remember going all the way to the edge, and it was, you could like basically like go to the edge, but you can't go to the edge now. There's a whole bunch of dudes over there in military uniforms. Well, obviously, because it's a military ship. Look at that thing, it's massive, yo. Let's wave to everyone. They're probably looking at me with, someone's probably looking at me with binoculars. All right, see you later. Hopefully it's okay to upload this to YouTube. It says no drone area. Yeah, I would not fly a drone near that. They'd probably shoot your drone down or something. with a laser, a little green laser at all of all things. Wow, look at this angle of the city. Epic. Yeah, like that's all the East Cut, like all the buildings. For the most part, the buildings from this angle. Let go, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Wow, look at this building. That looks super fancy, right? And more importantly, look at all those large, massive windows. And check this out. Everybody's got like an ocean view. See right across from Embarcadero. It is super epic, yo. And for the people that say I don't stop at red lights, I'm totally stopping at this red light. You see, it's red. There's absolutely no cars coming, and I'm stopping here. I'm waiting here. It's the right thing to do. You should always stop at red lights. You should always stop. If it's red, you should stop and wait until it turns green, because it's safe, because cars just don't run red lights. They don't. Like, cars never do. They never do. They never run green lights. They never run red lights. You should just wait till the light turns green, and once the light is green, see, look, I almost got hit by a car because that looks like that car is about to run the red light because it was red for them. But let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's keep cruising. Let's keep cruising. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Yeah. Ow! All right, this is another one of those East Cut parks with face grass. I like this park. This is a really cool park.